Hi, my name is Danielle Blackwell, and this presentation is for the Biomechanics class at A.T. Still University. Today we will discuss the kinematics and biomechanics of a free throw. It is important to understand the history of a free throw in an effort to understand the purpose and success of a free throw. In 1891, James Naismith created basketball in a physical education class with approximately 13 rules. At this point, there were no free throws, and fouls just equaled points. In between 1891 and 1894, a free throw was created at a 20-foot shot area. In 1895, they moved the free throw to 15 feet. In 1896, they changed the points on a jump shot to 2 and remained 1 at a free throw. Originally, a team could pick any player on the team to shoot the free throw, so they could pick their best player for every single shot. But in 1924, it was changed that whoever was fouled had to shoot the free throw. In 1939 to 1952, the teams could decline to shoot free throws if they wanted to and inbound the ball from the sideline. In 1954, 1-and-1 shots were introduced. And in 1990, 3 free throws were awarded for fouls during a 3-point shot attempt. Naismith wrote in his book, "I have often overheard some spectators express the opinion that a game was won by free throws. I have always taken the attitude that the game was lost by fouls. Personally, I believe that any tendency toward lessening the penalty of a foul would be a serious mistake." This quote emphasizes the importance of a free throw and the reason that this biomechanical analysis is essential. There are rules to a free throw. As you can see on the right, the picture here describes the area in which a free throw will be taken. The athlete in the position A, just above the free throw line and within the upper half of the free throw circle. The free throw must be attempted within 10 seconds of receiving the ball from the referee. The players along the edges, where you see the other B's and A's, may enter the lane upon the release of the ball. The opposing team, which you see labeled as B's, will stand in the first box along the edge, and then the free throw shooter's teammates will stand in the next. This is the typical setup for a free throw. There is a suggested technique. The athlete's feet should be shoulder width apart. The athlete can have a slightly staggered stance or feet in line with one another. The athlete receives the ball and completes a preparatory stage or preliminary stage in which they should relax and mentally prepare for the free throw. The athlete will then place the ball at waist level, flex their knees and waist, and make sure the hand placement is correct on the ball. The athlete will then extend the trunk and knees as the athlete flexes their shoulder and completes elbow extension and wrist flexion simultaneously. The athlete plantar flexes or possibly jumps in order to add power to the shot as the ball is released. The athlete will then follow through with all wrist flexors and elbow extensors going to the end range of motion. We will now break down the free throw into 5 phases, the first being the preliminary phase, the second the backswing phase, the third will be the force-producing movements, the fourth will be the critical instant, and the fifth will be the follow-through. First we have the preliminary phase. Here you see the athlete completing her preliminary phase. Every player's preliminary phase will be slightly different and can include various movements like dribbles and ball spins. The athlete should use this time to relax and release tension and tightness in muscles. For a right-handed shooter, they should place their right toe on the edge of the line and the left toe slightly behind that. This would be called a staggered stance. Some athletes may maintain a stance in which both toes are right at the edge of the line. The feet should be shoulder width apart, which will help maintain balance and the base of support during the shot. In this case, our athlete dribbles twice and spins the ball between her hands. She then finds the placement of her hands prior to shooting the ball. Here we have a slow motion analysis of the preliminary phase. Here you see from the front the athlete completing both dribbles as well as the backspin. She then places her hands and gets ready to shoot the free throw. Again, here you see it from the side view, another slow motion analysis of both dribbles and a back spin. This is her distinct preliminary phase. The next phase is the backswing phase. This consists of a crouch in preparation, placing the shooting hand behind the ball and keeping the shooting arm parallel to the body. The knees should remain flexed, close to 90 degrees. Our athlete doesn't quite get to 90 degrees. Her trunk should be flexed somewhere close to 50 degrees from vertical. The ball should remain over her shooting foot, and she should remain looking over the ball toward the rim. The next phase is the force-producing movement phase. This is when you complete an upward and forward force to shoot the ball towards the rim. This consists of leg and trunk extension and straightening of the arm. Leg extension consists of knee and hip extension. Straightening of the arm consists of shoulder flexion, elbow extension, and wrist flexion. The ball should remain in front of the body with the shooting hand directly behind the ball. The non-shooting hand should be on the side of the ball and slightly underneath. The upper arm should be parallel to the ground with the elbow in a flexed position and the wrist in hyperextension. The elbow remains flexed as the shoulder extends. The elbow should remain under the ball during extension, close to the body and in line with the shoulder. The shooting shoulder should be pointed towards the basket. Here you see the frontal view of the force-producing movement. This video shows a side view. The next phase is the critical instant. This is the instant when the ball is released. At this point, the shooter cannot do anything else to manipulate the shot. If the shooter's feet leave the floor during the shot, i.e. jumping, they should land in the same place they jumped from. The trunk should be vertical. The shooting shoulder should be flexed to about 140 to 150 degrees to receive optimal vertical velocity. The elbow should reach full extension for greater success. The ball should be released when the elbow has slight flexion to reach peak angular velocity of the elbow. The wrist should be at mid-flexion to receive maximum velocity in the hand as the ball is released. The non-shooting hand should drop off the ball just before the critical instant occurs. The non-shooting elbow should be tucked in. The number on the back of the jersey should be observable. The ball should roll off the fingertips during release. Here you see a video of the critical instant in which the athlete releases the ball. Lastly, we have the follow-through. This is the phase that consists of the joints continuing to move through the range of motion until the end range, following the release of the ball from the fingertips. The legs here are fully extended, the ankles plantar flexed, and the trunk extended to vertical. This phase creates the maximum velocity. The trunk should be slightly rotated away from the shooting side. This will help allow the number to be seen. Here we see the follow-through on this athlete. The following videos are going to be the backswing through the follow-through. Each of these videos will be in slow motion and allow you to see the crouch and preparation, the upward and forward force, the ball release, and the full motion of all the joints. Here you are able to see this in slow motion from a frontal view. Now we look at it from the side. Lastly, we want to discuss the errors that occur during free throws. Some errors are listed below, like poor alignment, no relaxation of the shooting arm, a bad follow-through, interference of the non-shooting arm not being released before the critical instant, the ball being shot too hard, the leaning during the release. The athlete here was a pretty good free throw shooter. She just had a few errors that I would like to discuss. In the left picture, you can see that she has a slight lean backwards compared to the right picture. Here you are able to see that her right hand is behind the ball, and you can see in the middle picture that her left hand is placed too far forward on the side of the ball and should be moved backwards. Here you see that her non-shooting shoulder is abducted too much and should be placed closer to the body. Here you are able to see that during her follow-through she has ulnarly deviated her wrist. Her wrist should land directly in line with her arm. The following are just a few videos of her full analysis in phases through phases 1 through 5. Here you see her from the side going through each of the 5 phases in an effort to become successful at free throw shooting. This video is a slow motion video in an effort to show you each of the phases as they happen. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you learned a little bit about free throw shooting and different ways to make your free throw shot better.